Hey YouTube, it's Jenna Ryan with Self Love You. Thank you so much for joining me today. I have a pretty in-depth video for you today about love bombing. Love bombing. I have a couple of videos in mind. This particular video is going to go over the reasons why love bombing is possible. Why is love bombing possible? The whole goal here is to become narcissist proof and to love yourself enough to not fall for the tricks of the narcissist. If you are someone who is repeatedly getting into relationships with narcissists, that means that you have some internal work to do on yourself. That means that you're not completely healed and that you have a wound that the universe is allowing these people to come into your life, and you're allowing them to come into your life and cause you damage. So what you want to do if you want to stop feeling the pain of being in a relationship with a narcissist is you want to get the healing that you need in order to strengthen yourself so that you're no longer narcissistic prey. Now, what I want to focus on today to help us in this quest to understand where we're at is I want to talk about why love bombing is possible. Why is it even possible? Why is it possible? I can't stand that book behind me, that shiny book. Okay, how about that? Why is it even possible for someone to love bomb you? Okay, so I kind of really thought about this in depth. I thought, why was it possible for me to be fooled by the narcissist? Why was it possible for a narcissist to get through all of my knowledge, all of my expertise, my self-love, my healing? What was it? And the whole key for me personally, because when it came to when I realized this person was a narcissist, I was able to shut it down and move on, no problem, which is wonderful. Yay me. But what is not wonderful is that I was tricked by the love bombing phase. Of course, anyone can be tricked by the love bombing phase, but I don't want to be tricked. I want to know what the heck's going on. So that's why I did this video. Okay, so there's a bunch of points here I have to share. First of all, it's important to understand that love bombing in and of itself is disrespect. It's disrespectful to you because when you are being love bombed, the party is the man. This could be a guy or a girl. The narcissist is in your face right here. Like right here. They get right here. Because if they don't love bomb you, they cannot get into your emotional supplies. They cannot make you fall in love. Their goal is to make you fall in love with them. So they get right in your face. And if you turn, they're right in your face. And if you turn, they're right in your face. No matter what way you turn, they're right there. And so it helps to inoculate you with the trance. It causes whoever calls it the anesthesia. It's an anesthesia. It's a trance. It's a hypnosis, and it begins in the love bombing stage. The love bombing. If the person were to give you time to think, you would be on your. You wouldn't be focused on them. You would be moving on and doing things in your own life. Okay, but a narcissist really wants to get into your psyche, and they do that using love bombing techniques. So why is it even possible? They can come and be sweet and nice and compliment you and want to be around you 24/7 and love bombing you by, calling you and then texting you right after they call you and lots and lots and lots of communication. That's love bombing. Now, it can feel a lot like, love if you are not aware of what's going on. But knowing that you have to be careful, you need to be careful of love bombing from anyone. Someone who is a healthy person is going to respect your boundaries. If you are really watching out for yourself and really trying to, or are being a healthy person, then you're going to really create space around you and new relationships. You're and not be disrespected, because it's actually disrespectful to a person to be texting them all the time. Okay, it's disrespectful. You don't see it as that. You think, wow, it's so sweet. They really like me. They're texting me all the time. But if you really stop and think about it, that's somebody that's really trying to take too much from you. Really, no one should get that much from you until you know who they are and you've tested them and vetted them and made sure that they're worth your time, because they can be a negative person that wants to hurt you. So, love bombing is disrespect. So see it as such. Do not tolerate someone who is constantly contacting you. Okay, another thing is love bombing is a form of accepting the love bomb is a form of people pleasing, because maybe you do not feel like you really have the strength or you don't have the right, or you don't want to be rude. So you let this person, spend the night for a week straight. You really feel smothered, but you don't want to, rock the boat. So instead of asking for space, you just let them stay. Okay. Well, this is actually detrimental to you because it causes them to have more importance in your life than they necessarily need. And they become like a bloodsucker. If you've ever seen one of those leeches on the internet, it can be bad. Another reason that love bombing is possible is idolization. If you're idolizing a relationship, maybe if you feel alone and like nothing without a man or a woman, then you might idolize a relationship, and that can cause love bombing, allow love bombing to seep in. So you may want to watch out for how you feel about yourself. You may want to work on building your self-worth being a single person. Also, you can idolize another person because of childhood wounds. You may have a trauma bond from childhood. You may have a fantasy bond from childhood. That may cause you to idolize another person. Maybe that person is really attractive and you don't feel attractive. Or maybe you have a sense that you need someone to make you whole. That can cause idolization, and it can be very much a breeding ground for love bombing. Someone who's really healthy and loves themselves and feels worthy is not going to be as prone to falling for these tactics as someone who is needy and has, some pieces of them that need to be healed. Someone who is whole is going to see somebody overriding their system and wanting to be around them, and they're going to go back off. And if you tell a narcissist in the love bombing stage to back off, you're going to get to see what they're really all about. A lot of times, if you tell them to back off, they're going to move on to someone else. They may try even harder, and then you're going to really know who they are. You're going to really get a feel for what they're all about. So telling someone to back off is something that takes health. It takes the ability to not be a people pleaser and to not care if this person walks away, and to love yourself more than you love the idea of being in a relationship, or more than you love the idea of having someone to say that you have them, or more than you love the idea of just having someone to go to the movies with. I mean, it's better to go to the movies with someone who you don't, idolize than someone that you idolize who's going to hurt you and make you fall in love with them and later leave you high and dry. So it's love bombing is possible if you feel that you can get your worth from an external source and you're unable to feel worthy in and of yourself. You're going to be a victim or a target to a narcissist, and you're going to be easily love bombed. So that needs to be fixed. Love bombing is also due to a lack of connection to yourself, because whenever you are really connected to yourself, then you have like your own routines, your own things that feel good, and when things don't feel good. And love bombing in the beginning, yeah, it feels good, but it also brings some real weird feelings of being smothered. Okay, love bombing makes you feel smothered. So if you're really connected with yourself, you're going to be able to say, hey, I feel smothered. But not only can you say that, you will actually be able to act upon it. You'll actually be able to say, hey, you wouldn't necessarily tell him. You'd be like, hey, can we take a break here? Okay, because you have the right to stand up for yourself. You have the right to create space. And if you're worried they're going to run off and be with someone else, you have the right to say, is that very healthy? I don't think so. Another reason love bombing is possible is because the narcissist is skilled at getting you to a place of bonding, and it generates the bonding hormone oxytocin. And once they start to get your trust and you begin to feel the feelings of oxytocin, it causes bonding and attachment. And that creates the glue that holds the love bombing, that makes the love bombing so effective. Once you are love bombed, effectively love bombed, once you are sold out to the person, and that means your heart is beating and you have a love for that person, then that is when the narcissist starts the obvious devaluation stage. And we're going to be talking about some of the things that happen in that stage later. Okay, another thing is, another thing that causes love bombing to be possible is you have an energetic pull for vampires. I know this is heavy duty stuff, but I truly believe it. I believe that we put energy out there and that we're pulling towards us what we will allow and what we have not learned yet and what we need to learn. So I believe that if you need to learn something from an energy vampire, that you're going to be like somehow open to that love bombing energy, and you're not going to, you haven't told the universe, no, I'm done with that. I'm ready for my next level. I'm ready for healthy relationships. So, love bombing is possible. Love bombing works because it's like cocaine. It's very addicting. It's addicting. They get into your system and make you feel feelings of euphoria and joy because finally you have someone that cares about you, that loves you, that wants to know everything about you, that comes over to your house and just sits there and talks with you for hours and hours and hours, and sex and love and gooey stuff and just all this mushy, all of that. Man, that's addicting. And that is what the narcissist counts on, because they get their thrills out of getting you to the highest point you can get. And then once you get as high as you can, they like to come in there and they like to pop the bubble so that they can experience the elation. They experience elation when you are down, when you are falling. Oh, they have so much joy because while you're falling, they're falling in love with someone else, or whatever you want to call what they're doing. They're idolizing someone else. Love bombing mirrors love. They're mirroring you. Love bombing is a person is mirroring who you are, and it's tricking you. You're actually falling in love with a version of yourself. They mirror your values. They mirror your character. They kind of are very keen in understanding exactly what you're missing and what you need. And they say the words that you need to hear, and they mirror you, and it mirrors love. And that is very addicting, and that is very hard to walk away from. And it's very important that you walk away from it if it's not within your standards, which we're going to be talking about in future videos. But right now I want to get this information out. Ooh, I gotta hurry. Okay. If you have a weakness to flattery, if somebody, if you need to know that you're beautiful, or if you need to know that you're valued, or you need to know that you're loved, and you have that weakness, then the narcissist can come in and take advantage of that, and they can begin to compliment you or flatter you. It could be in a million ways. They're just awesome at doing that. And unfortunately, they're wicked, and they're there to hurt you, so you want to watch out. Okay, if you believe in fairy tales, love bombing is going to hurt you. If you believe that you're going to meet someone, a woman or a man, that's going to meet all of your needs and make all of your life turn better, and you believe the fairy tales of childhood that you heard, Cinderella, Snow White, the Prince Charming. If you believe in fairy tales, then you have a fairy tale mentality, and you're swept up in that fantasy, then you may be prone to falling for the tricks of the narcissist in the love bombing phase. If you have a fantasy bond from childhood, if you were abused as a child, if you were neglected or abandoned, you may not even realize that you were. A lot of people are hurt and don't even realize it. If that is the case, then you have a tendency to fall for this false love. This love bombing is not real love. It feels like love, but it's not real. It's actually meant to trick you and so that it can take you down. So you have to watch out for it. And I'm smiling because I'm happy to get this information out. If you're not walking in the fullness of your true self, if you're not living your full life, if you're not busy, if you're not walking in your gifts, callings, and talents and doing things that make you feel good, then you may mistake this feeling of being love bombed as actual love, as actually feeling good, as actual fulfillment, when really it is not fulfillment at all. It is the opposite of fulfillment. Okay, you need to walk in your full self. You need to be, if you're a singer, you need to sing. If you create videos, you need to create. If you are a writer, you need to write. All of these things will help to protect you against being love bombed in the future. If you're weakened to external manipulation and gaslighting, if you're gullible, if you grew up in an environment where you were regularly manipulated and gaslighted, then you're not going to know the difference. If you don't think that someone is capable of being two-faced and a backstabber, and you just think everybody's sweet and Pollyanna, then you're going to be susceptible to being love bombed. We need to zip this up. We need to lock this. We need to lock you down so that you are not easily taken away by some love bomber, some liar, some deceiver. Okay? I'm almost there. If you don't have an internal working model for what love truly is, you can be susceptible for love bombing because you don't know what love is. You think love bombing is love. And if that's the case, then you're going to have a problem. You're going to be love bombed all your life until you wake up and say, whoa. And it's difficult. It's difficult to wake up and say, whoa, but it's not impossible, and we can do this. Okay. If you have unmet childhood needs for mirroring, if you were not properly mirrored as a child, then you can be open. You can have an open wound. You can have an open door for a manipulator to come in and love bomb you. Watch out. Begin to heal your wounds. Begin to heal your inner child. Be there for your inner child. Be there for yourself. Take care of yourself. Don't leave any of yourself out in the open. You are a jewel. You know that. You know you're a jewel. You're a diamond. You're a rare diamond. Don't let someone smooth talk come in and tell lies and deceive and trick their way into your most valuable possession, your most valuable aspect, which is you, your truth, your higher self, your true self, your authentic self. Oh my goodness, I gotta hurry. Narcissistic wounding from childhood. If you were wounded as a child, then you might not have gotten your narcissistic needs met. And so the narcissist comes in and offers to give you worth by being associated with you, by telling you how great you are, or by showing you that you're a worthwhile person, by wanting to be with you 24 hours a day and call you 24/7. And it's somebody that you find very attractive. This can cause you, if you have a deficit, if you have something in you that doesn't realize how valuable you are because of lack of mirroring in childhood, then you may be susceptible to the love bombing phase of the narcissist. You might have conflicting needs. Maybe part of you needs what this narcissist has to offer, even though your true self does not need it. Maybe a part of you got something out of it. Maybe you got something out of a relationship with the narcissist. Maybe you get something out of the love bombing process. Obviously, you're getting something because human behavior does not repeat unless there is payoff at the end of the day. I'm almost done. Okay, another reason why you may be susceptible to love bombing is loneliness and isolation. Maybe because of things that have happened to you in the past. Maybe you've had negative relationships in the past and you've isolated yourself and you're lonely. Then you're open to be abused and love bombed and tricked and deceived. So if you come out of your shell, watch out. Don't just allow yourself to be love bombed. Really be careful. Be even more careful if you've been in isolation or if you're lonely. And then final is not centered in yourself. You've got to be so centered in yourself and so aware of your feeling states that no one can come and take you away from your truth. You've got to be rooted and grounded in your chakras. You've got to be rooted and grounded in your sacral chakra and your solar plexus chakra and all of your chakras. You need to be rooted and grounded, and you need to stay there. And if someone comes and tries to sweep you away from yourself, do not abandon yourself. Stay firm. Really learn, how do you feel? How do you want to keep feeling? And knock anybody off that tries to knock you off your center of who you are. And that is what I have to say today about why love bombing is possible. If you like this video, please share, like, comment, most of all, subscribe. Subscribe. And ding the bell so that you get notifications. Okay, until next time, I will talk to you soon.